Hi, welcome to Midwest Magic Cleaning. My name is Enosh Miensner. So starting a place like this is an issue for most people because they don't know what to do with the stuff. We've already talked about moving things off of a countertop and putting it on like a temporary storage space. And in a lot of these places, there's no like flat surface to do it on. So a lot of times you just have to put that stuff on the floor. We just got lucky in that the dining room table was actually available to put all of it on. However, that space is limited. So very quickly in the cleanup, we have to figure out a way to start putting things back because there's no real way that we can take everything out of the kitchen, clean it, and then put everything back. We would completely hoard the dining room 5 feet deep in a heartbeat if we did it that way. Some cabinets are going to change purpose as we go. In a hoarder house, the cabinets need to have a purpose, otherwise they're just going to get rehoarded. So in other words, you need a cabinet that's just for spices, one that's just for junk, one that's just for cups. As we move around the kitchen, we're going to get a better idea of how much stuff she has, and that's going to kind of dictate which of these cabinets are devoted to what thing. So in the beginning with these small cabinets, I ended up putting spices on one side of it. Then afterwards, I realized that logistically that's a bad idea. The owner of this house is short, and it would be a pain for her to reach up there and get those spices. Also, if the spices are in this set of cabinets, you can't see beyond the first row of them to find out what's behind them. So after I put all those spices in, I took them out again because I realized that they would be better in a different cabinet. That is totally fine. When you're dealing with a really cluttered house, there's some trial and error that happens. Once you get the house into the condition where you know where everything's at and everything has a purpose, then you can use the touch it once method because then you know where things go. Spices go in the spice rack. Touch it once, put it away. But trying to do that method in this house in its current condition is impossible. You would have to have like an engineering degree in order to make that happen. You also might realize, like we realized, that once we put the spices away, a whole bunch of those were way past their expiration date or best buy date if you're a stickler. Look, once they're out of date by 10 plus years, those two terms don't matter. But those things can be used for up to blah, blah, blah years after they no, shut up. Go buy some new spices, man. They're like $2. You do not need to use spices that are a decade out of date. Green beans can last up to 40,000 years if you keep them under the right. No, dude, don't keep green beans for 40,000 years. Buy a new can of green beans. I will personally buy you a new can of green beans if it means getting rid of the 40,000-year-old can of green beans. If you haven't eaten those suckers in 10 plus years, you're never going to eat them. Let them go, man. Let the beans go.